Team Greg Gattuso is the head coach and joins us every Wednesday here on Big Board Sports. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Roger. Zach.
Fun week, huh? Fun week. And it's got to be a fun week, right? I mean, the players, you don't want to overhype it, but I would take it, you don't have to worry about making sure they're ready to go. I mean, they know it's Richmond. They know what kind of opponent they are going to face at 3:30 on Saturday.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's when you're winning games. I talk to the team all the time about, when every game you win, the next one gets bigger, and they have, and you beat Buffalo, and then, the Rhode Island game is a difficult game. People don't realize after beating a FBS team, most teams lose the next week. When you look at the records of the teams that do pull the upsets off. So it was a good win. Got bigger after Holy Cross, and we survived St. Francis. So I think that the kids were looking a little bit ahead, and but it's here, and we're practicing well, and it's going to be a great football game. Will
this be the best team you've faced so far?
I think they're really good. Yeah, I think the big thing about them is their confidence level and their belief in what they do. That's what you as a coach want. They play really well in big moments. We were talking just, on the break about, we had the ball 2 times at the end of the game to tie it. We moved the ball. We just weren't able to get down and deep enough to score. But they make big plays when they need it. They did it against Towson. They did it against Colgate. They did it against UVA. So they're that kind of team, and they're well rounded, well coached, and they're very talented. So yeah, it's a big challenge, but it's going to be fun, and we're excited about it.
Well, last time Nevin Sussman faced this team, he was making his first start. I'm looking at the stats from last year. He's 14-35. He's picked off 4 times, but he also threw a couple of times. He scored twice, he scored once. He scored late. In the fourth quarter, about 8 minutes to go. He also threw a touchdown pass to Anthony Manzo-Lewis that made it a 38-24 game, and then he ran one, and it was 38-31. You were down in that game on the road, 38-10, with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, and made a comeback.
Yeah, we got off our script, and we turned the ball over the 2 first plays of the game. It was 10-0 with about 2 minutes gone in the game. It was 17-0. Pretty fast in the first quarter, and we had to regroup. I've talked about to our kids, that was the game where I think we started to learn to be resilient, that, no matter how bad things are at that moment, we got to keep playing. So we played hard. We have not played a good game against Richmond. Some of that's due to they're good, and they've taken us out of our game plan. So it's going to be important to get a great start and try to get up on them. 2 years in a row we've been down to them. Off turnovers, something we don't do very often.
The other thing that sticks out on the stat sheet from a year ago in a 38-31 game is Elijah Token Hanks had 25 carries in that game for 204 yards.
Yeah, I think
ran the ball last year against
them. We ran the ball. We had some big plays. I think, they're certainly not going to be surprised by EB this year, and they know he's who he is, and I listened to their coach, and I know Danny very well, and they were talking. It's funny, we have a lot of similarities, I think, but, right after the Towson game, he made a big point of how he talked to his team that this is the biggest game in UAlbany history, according to the Richmond folk, and that they better be ready, and they talked about EB. So this isn't going to be a surprise for them. They know we're going to come and we're going to play a tough game, and, we just got to play our game and not worry about playing Richmond's game.
Coach, does it help the fact that you're playing your toughest opponent to date with extra time coming off the bye week?
Yeah, Zach, honestly, I think if you talk to coaches, if you talk to a coach right after a bye week, that they're all over the place with it, because no one really, I've just not heard anybody have a real good feel they help or hurt or either. I think it's all what you make of it. We use it to get healthy and to practice ourselves, to work on our things. We started to get ready for Richmond last week. It certainly helps that for us mentally to right now is that we're just reviewing things more than putting things in on a Wednesday, which is good. But ultimately, we had an off week last year prior to them, and we had an off week prior to them the year before. It's been falling with them the last couple of years. I think it's all about how we play, and I don't think the extra preparation will have anything to do with it. I think it's a matter of doing our thing and playing our game, and we're pretty good when we play our game, and if they can get us out of it, it'll make it extra difficult.
Well, you're going to have to face a pretty good quarterback, and your defense is really playing well. Plus 13 in the turnover. That's number 1 in the country. Now, this Kyle Laletta kid is the real deal at quarterback, and he threw a couple of touchdowns against you last year. And I know Brian Brown in the game last year had 8 receptions for 178 yards. And looks like he's having another pretty good season this year. They've got good receivers.
Yeah, they're really talented in the pass game. They're trying to reestablish their run game a little bit. They graduated a really good back last year, and a couple linemen, but they're dynamic on offense. The quarterback is, it's funny when I saw him, his first start when he started was as a redshirt sophomore in his third year as a part of the Spider program. That's where, we're hoping to develop our quarterback. It's a totally different deal when you don't worry about down and distances when you have an older quarterback. The 3rd and 10 doesn't bother you, so you take chances, you do things that, we kind of have to grind it out right now, and we're trying to keep the pressure off our quarterback. So they have an advantage in the sense that they have an older quarterback that can make throws and is daring, and they have the two, not just one, but 2 very dynamic receivers that can go make plays. So they're going to take their shots, they're going to take their risk, and, we've got to defend it. But our guy's starting to play better. I was excited about how he's practiced. He's starting to really get a grasp of things, and we're making a lot of progress. It's just you have to go through the growth to get to where you want to get to, and we're getting there. And I think, Saturday you're going to see a little bit different team, hopefully offensively, and that we can come out and really move the ball.
It would be a signature win. I don't think there's any question about that, and the biggest win in that stadium if you could pull it off. The other thing is that you feed off the fans, right? I mean, Christopher made a good call about the enthusiasm and finally feeling like we got some big time college football in the area. And I think the place is going to be rocking. So, I mean, that should play a factor too, right? The crowd and the noise. You guys got to love that.
It's just really important in tough situations. It's home. I always thought the home game, people think it's because you're comfortable or you're familiar, but I don't really think it is. I think it's just the home crowd gives you that little push when you need it. And if it's worth 3 points or 7 points in a tough game, that's big. And I think last year their crowd helped them out, and I think that what we're developing, first game we had 4,500 students that swiped and came, and last game we had, I think, over 2,500, which is great numbers for us. We love having our students there, and you can just see the crowd building in the community, and heck, I think 350 people from Mohawk Honda are coming. So we're every game.
Nick's got every mandatory. You're going to the game.
I can't even go out there anymore. Everybody wants gear and to wear to the games, and we even had H out at the game last time. So so we're excited about it. The fans are definitely part of it, and building a program hand in hand with the fans is what we're trying to do. And it's a great experience. And like I always say, win, lose, or draw, that it's a part of what we're trying to build. And we feel ahead of schedule, but is it a big game? Yeah. We got to go out and play and do a great job.
Yeah, I think that'll be the biggest crowd in the history of Bob Ford Field. I'm just speaking for myself. I think there'll be over 10,000, but we'll see. Coach, if you're going to beat Richmond, you do what?
Well, you guys get bored and laugh. Roger laughs every time I say it.
Wait a minute. Wait. We got to follow the script.
Go ahead.
Don't turn the ball over. Win the kicking game.
Do what we do. Play our game.
It's I hate to do coach speak.
No, but to me, if you're going to win the game, you better slow down their quarterback and wide receivers.
Well, but
to me, you got to do.
And that plays into what, like I said before, we have not had as many yards as the opponent in 3 of the 4 wins. But we've won the big plays in all 3 of those games. That'll be difficult this week because this is a big play offense. But if 90% of football teams at all level, from my research, win games when they win the turnover battle and they win the big play battle. And if we can do that, that's what we believe in. You see it in our numbers. We're tough in the red zone.
Yep.
We turn the opponent over and we kick the ball really well. And our offense protects the football, and yet we are able to generate big plays.
You're going to have to complete some passes in this game?
Of course.
From your quarterback?
We always
maybe more than normal? Will the script call for a few more of those?
Well, I think the game situation calls for what we have to do. We have protected our quarterback as much as we can, but his time, he's ready. I mean, he's getting there. He knows he's going to have to carry us at some point. I can promise you this, Richmond will have a lot of guys in the box Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt. And I will say this, too, in closing. I think the UAlbany secondary is a lot better this year than last year in facing this Laletta quarterback.
No doubt.
There's no
doubt.
Close. Right?
Not even close. So that
and
will
linebackers as well. I mean, we were so beat up at linebacker last year.
Got my boy Eli in there this week?
Yeah, Eli, we talk about Eli. You'll love it. I've never seen anybody rip a ball off of people more than Eli Mentor does. He is an animal out there.
I was in Altoona, and everyone was asking me, how's Eli? And, of course, they always say, how come he's not playing running back? I said, because he's playing linebacker. Yeah. Shut up. That's what we're doing. Anyway, it's all good. Coach, we'll talk to you this weekend. Good luck in the game against Richmond. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks. We're excited and hope to see everybody out.